Hi guys, it's Michelle with Deception Bites, and I am back again and picking up where we left off last time, which is right here. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I do want to do 3 videos tonight. I've done one and uploaded it. This will be the second, and I am hoping to get to a third tonight, just because I really do want to get caught up. But I'm limited, just like any person, I'm limited to the amount of time that I can spend. So anyway, I'm trying to spend as much time as I can to do this, and but it may take us a little bit to get caught up. But we are pulling up the rear, and we are finding out lots of stuff that we really wouldn't even understand the newer posts without understanding all this anyway. And I'm sure, like a lot of you have said, that you are keeping up to date with them, but also, listening to these as well, just to get some extra information in there. So, all right, let's go. November 22nd, Q says, Ritzvy Traverse Management. Happy hunting, Q. So obviously, he's pointing out these people, and for just reason, because there's a lot there. Ritzvy Traverse Management has close ties to Playboy, Twitter, and SpaceX. Now, I'm going to go out to their website here so you can have a look at what all they've got their dirty little hands in. So, we invest in companies pushing the limits of technology. So that is what they are. They are an investment company. They invest in these companies. Well, we'll get to all that. Let me not get ahead of myself. And yeah, they partner with the world's most iconic brands, Playboy. Let's look at what they're into here. So these are all things that they are into. ICM is a full-service talent agency representing leading figures in film, TV, music, publishing, and entertainment. So that is one thing. Flipboard lets people discover and share content in beautiful, simple, and meaningful ways. Square, I'm sure you've all heard of that. Square makes commerce easy for everyone. They make a little, it's like a little, it's square, and it plugs into your cell phone so that you can take credit card payments. It's actually quite handy. I have one myself. So, CSAC, founded in 1930. CSAC is a performance rights organization representing some of the world's most talented and popular artists. So I guess if you're going to be a full-service talent agency, you want to have a performance rights organization as well. Twitter helps users create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Of course, we all know what Twitter is. And Summit, a top producing film studio with hits such as Twilight series, was acquired by Lionsgate in 2012. So that is what they do, and they are into all of this, including SpaceX, which is not listed here. But let's go back out and look at some more interesting things. So Elon Musk's SpaceX project was funded by the CIA through Ritzvy Traverse Management. As we'll find out from Q in just a bit, this company is a CIA cutout organization. So this is CIA, and they're funding all these different things. Suhal Rizvi was good friends with large Twitter shareholder, recently arrested Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Well, what a small world. Small world. So let's go and look at this link. got their dirty little fingers in everybody's pie. Okay. This talks about Twitter's mysterious outside shareholder. Twitter may be having one of the highest profile initial public offerings in years, but its single largest outside shareholder has almost, I hate it when they jump like that, has almost no online profile. It's a firm called Risvi Traverse, and its funds own 17.9% of Twitter pre-IPO, which is initial public offering, 15.6% after. It's a bizarre juxtaposition considering that Twitter's business is based on people's communicating publicly. Funny how that works, isn't it? But many sources say that Risvi's low profile helped solidify its relationship with Twitter and secure its access to the company as well as to other hot startups. Risvi and its funds have a stake that will be worth $1.7 billion if Twitter's shares are priced at $20, the top of its target range. The firm started investing in social network at the end of 2010, and its funds have since drawn big-name investors, including J.P. Morgan, which, through its investments, will own a 9% post-IPO stake in Twitter. Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal also invested in Twitter through Risvi, and his Kingdom holding owns more than 20 million shares. For a man whose firm controls such a major stake in such a talked-about IPO, Risvi Traverse co-founder and chief operating officer Suhail Risvi stays amazingly below the radar. I wonder why that would be. Do you have any idea? Boy. Man, sometimes it's just right there. Of course he'd stay below the radar. It's a CIA cutout company. The last thing they want to do is to let everyone know. There are no public photos of him. Things that make you go, He reportedly hires people to scrub the web of pictures and to monitor his Wikipedia page. The only public data we could find is a website describing a value-oriented, opportunistic investment strategy that combines capital with management expertise and lists Risvi investments. A value-oriented. Must be value as in money and not in value as in value, because after all, they do own huge shares in Playboy. So anyway, Risvi Traverse owns a controlling interest in Playboy, like I just said, and music rights organization CSAC, as well as stakes in New App, Flipboard, and Jack Dorsey's digital payment company Square. Sources told CNBC that Risvi invested $100 million in Facebook, therefore, before its IPO, its initial public offering, and sold its shares earlier this year. It also has sold its equity stake in talent agency ICM and in Twilight producer Summit Entertainment, which sold to Lionsgate. Risvi's Twitter connection, which led to its Square and Flipboard investments, originated with Chris Sacca of Lowercase Capital, an angel investor and Twitter advisor. Sacca has been building Twitter-related funds since 2008, bringing in investors such as Ashton Kutcher and Richard Branson. Sacca, who was previously head of special initiatives at Google, manages a portfolio of more than 50 startups, including car service Uber, Kickstarter, and Blue Bottle Coffee. So I guess, I don't need to read all this, but I just wanted to give you an idea and how much stuff that they're really into. So now, so Elon Musk's SpaceX program was funded by the CIA through Risvi Traverse Management. Suhail Risvi was good friends with large Twitter shareholder recently arrested Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Now, Suhail Risvi influenced Prince Al-Walid to buy more Twitter stock. Now, in terms of SpaceX, Obama challenged the shuttle programs, and now SpaceX is thriving, and seems to me that I read somewhere that he has shares in it as well. So it's just interesting, and more is going to unravel as we go here. Now, the next one, an anonymous asks, clown front? So basically asking, is this RTM, is this a clown front? And Q does not correct him and just acknowledges that he saw it. And usually if someone is wrong, Q will correct it. Now, I am not sure what this one is related to, but it says bad bread not updated Q. And then he says bad bread Q. Now, I'm thinking there was a post in there that was not Q, and that's why he's saying that. And so he's saying bad bread not updated. I don't know. I really don't know what these two posts are. And for me to say that I do would be a lie. So on November 22nd, an anonymous user again asks, "What's up, Q? Please tell me life will get better. Growing tired and need hope." And Q responds to this person and says, "We are winning bigly, Q." So that was a nice little encouragement from Q. Now, the next one, November 22nd, Q says 4.9 billion in government subsidies. Why? Q. And okay, actually this one came before that, sorry. And it says, "Can't wait for the green light. Teams on standby, Q." I'm not sure what that's in reference to. So I don't know. I couldn't find where anyone else had found what this was in reference to, but if you know, please let me know in the comments below, as always, because we do want to know the truth. We're not interested in just hearing my opinions. I want to know the truth, and I know that some of you guys are really on the ball with this stuff. So yeah, you guys have given me information that I didn't know. So anyway, then the next post is November 22nd, and he says 4.9 billion in government subsidies. Why? Q. Now, interestingly enough, 4.9 billion in government subsidies. The amount Elon Musk, 3 companies were given in government subsidies, and that was Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City. So those 3 companies owned by Elon Musk were given 4.9 billion in government subsidies. Wow. Elon Musk's growing empire is fueled by 4.9 billion in government subsidies. At least now we know where our money's going. Okay, Los Angeles entrepreneur Elon Musk has built multi-billion-dollar fortune running companies that make electric cars, sell solar panels, and launch rockets into space. And he's built those companies with the help of billions in government subsidies. Tesla Motors, Inc., Solar City Corp., and Space Exploration Technologies Corp., known as SpaceX, together have benefited from an estimated 4.9 billion in government support, according to data compiled by The Times. The figure underscores a common theme running through his emerging empire, a public-private financing model underpinning long-shot startups. He definitely goes where there is government money, said Dan Doley, an analyst, Jefferies Equity Research. That's a great strategy, but the government will cut you off one day. The figure compiled by The Times comprises a variety of government incentives, including grants, tax breaks, factory construction, discounted loans, and environmental credits that Tesla can sell. It also includes tax credits and rebates to buyers of solar panels and electric cars. A looming question is whether the companies are moving towards self-sufficiency, as Dolev believes, and whether they can slash development costs before the public largesse ends. Tesla and Solar City continue to report net losses after a decade in business, but the stocks of both companies have soared on their potential. Musk's stake in the firm alone is worth about $10 billion. SpaceX, a private company, does not publicly report financial performance. Well, naturally. Musk and his company's investors enjoy most of the financial upside of the government support, while taxpayers shoulder the cost. The payoff for the public would come in the form of major pollution reductions, but only if solar panels and electric cars break through as a viable mass market products. For now, both remain niche products for mostly well-heeled customers. Musk declined repeated requests for an interview, though Tesla spokespeople and officials at all three companies declined to comment. Musk declined repeated requests for an interview through Tesla spokespeople and officials at all three companies declined to comment. The subsidies have generally been disclosed in public records and company filings, but the full scope of the public assistance hasn't been tallied because it has been granted over time from different levels of government. New York State is spending $750 million to build a solar panel factory in Buffalo for Solar City. The San Mateo, California-based company will lease the plant for $1 a year. It will not pay property tax for a decade, which would otherwise total an estimate $260 million. The federal government also provides grants or tax credits to cover 30% of the cost of solar installations. Solar City reporting received $497.5 million in direct grants from the Treasury Department. That figure, however, doesn't capture the full value of the government support. Since 2006, Solar City has installed systems for 217,595 customers, according to a corporate filing. If each paid the current average price for a residential system, about $23,000, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, the cost to the government would total about $1.5 billion, which would include the Treasury grants paid to Solar City. Nevada has agreed to provide Tesla with $1.3 billion in incentives to help build a massive battery factory near Reno. The Palo Alto company has also collected more than $517 million from competing automakers by selling environmental credits. In a regulatory system pioneered by California and adopted by 9 other states, automakers must buy the credits if they fail to sell enough zero-emissions car to meet the mandates. The tally also includes some federal environmental credits. On a smaller scale, SpaceX, Musk's rocket company, cut a deal for about $20 million in economic development subsidies from Texas to construct a launch facility there. Separate from incentives, SpaceX has won more than $5.5 billion in government contracts from NASA and the U.S. Air Force. Subsidies are handed out in all kinds of industries, with U.S. corporations collecting tens of billions of dollars each year, according to Good Jobs First, a nonprofit that tracks government subsidies. And the incentives for solar panels and electric cars are available to all companies that sell them. Musk and his investors have also put large sums of private capital into the companies. But public subsidies for Musk's company stand out both for the amount relative to the size of the companies and for their dependence on them. Government support is a theme of all three of these companies, and without it, none of them would be around, said Mark Spiegel, a hedge fund manager for Staffel Capital Partners, who is shorting Tesla stock, a bet that pays off if Tesla shares fall. Tesla stock has risen 157% to 250.80 as of Friday's close over the last 2 years. Musk has proved so adept at landing incentives that states now compete to give him money, said Ashley Vance, author of Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future, a recently published biography. As his star has risen, every state wants a piece of Elon Musk, Vance said. Before his current ventures, he made a substantial sum from eBay Inc., $1.5 billion purchase of PayPal, the electronic payment system in which Musk held an 11% stake, Soon after, he founded SpaceX in 2002 with money from that sale, and he made major investments and took leadership posts at Tesla and Solar City. Musk is now chief executive of both Tesla and SpaceX and the chairman of Solar City, and holds big stakes in all three, including 27% of Tesla and 23% of Solar City, according to recent regulatory filings. The ventures employ about 23,000 people nationwide, and they operate or are building factories and facilities in California, Michigan, New York, Nevada, and Texas. So now I don't think we need to go into all of this. I just wanted you to get a good idea of who this was and what kind of money we're talking about here. A lot. So this is what Q is drawing our attention to. Interesting. Now, he brings us up again. Ritzvy Traverse Management, very important. Q. Now, Suhail Ritzvy is the secretive investor that has ties to SpaceX and is tied to Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal's investment company. So, yeah, this is pretty monumental. November 23. Why did Barack Obama scuttle the shuttle program? What is SpaceX? Expand your thinking. Q. Well, let's get into this now. Barack Obama deliberately scaled back NASA in order to subsidize SpaceX so as to be able to share the most current rocket technology with North Korea. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Money misappropriate to Barack Hussein Obama needs, desires, can obtain papers, plans via Freedom of Information Act. Obama dismantled the shuttle program so the U.S. military cannot send their satellites, weapons, equipment into space. SpaceX is a private company with its own patents/IP, intellectual property, and receives funds from the government. SpaceX private entity, no Freedom of Information Act request honored. SpaceX is a space program controlled by the globalists, so the globalists can send their own satellites, weapons, military equipment into space. Think about that. Just think about that. So Barack scales back NASA so that the government can subsidize SpaceX so they can share the most current rocket technology with North Korea because it's a private company. The money is misappropriated. And we can't even get a Freedom of Information Act because it's a private company. SpaceX, private entity, no Freedom of Information requests honored. SpaceX is a space program controlled by the globalists, so the globalists can send their own satellite, weapons, military equipment into space. CIA control of North Korea, SpaceX providing technology, private entity, not government, avoiding conflicts or suspicion. CIA or other entities could more easily share those patents or intellectual property from SpaceX with North Korea rather than sharing NASA information, which would certainly be highly illegal. When the war begins, the globalists will shoot down all U.S. satellites. Now, if that isn't giving you chills, I don't know what will. And interesting here, Q says North Korea _ SpaceX. So Uranium One gave North Korea the uranium they needed. SpaceX is giving them the rocket technology that they need. All pieces to start World War III. Now, I'm going to go out to this. And here it comes. Sorry, it's moving like a turtle. That was one of the things that went wrong over the last couple days, because I took my computer apart and ready to, pop in some more RAM there, and I bought the wrong one. Didn't fit my pin arrangement on my, so I've got to wait now. I've ordered it online, so I've got to wait another week before I can upgrade my RAM in this and speed things up for us all. Okay, because it's getting on my last nerve. I don't know about you. Okay, the American Report, exclusive. Obama/Clinton secret operation handed Port Canaveral cargo container terminal to brother, business partner of Saddam Hussein's nuclear bomb mastermind, sub and space bases in danger. Now, this is September 22nd, 2016. And there's Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein with his weapons of mass destruction nuclear physicist Dr. Jafar Dia Jafak. I'm not sure. Okay. This is a joint project of Mary Fanning of the American Report and Alan Jones of 1776 Channel. Just a few months after September the 11th, when I think we all conclude that however horrible September the 11th was, it could have been far worse had the terrorists had access to chemical, biological, or nuclear weapons, America is facing a grave national security nightmare at Florida's Port Canaveral. After an apparent Clinton pay-to-play operation, Barack Hussein Obama administration officials handed over control of Port Canaveral's cargo container operations to the brother of Saddam Hussein's chief, weapons of mass destruction nuclear physicist Dr. Jafar Dia Jafar. Port Canaveral is home to a U.S. Navy submarine base and sits within the nexus of U.S. Air Force and NASA space operations. Canaveral is also the second largest cruise ship port in the world. The secretly negotiated 2004 backroom deal, codenamed Project Pelican, covertly awarded the Crescent Group's GT USA LLC a 35-year container terminal lease at Port Canaveral. GT USA is owned by Gulf Tanner Company Limited, a unit of the United Arab Emirates-based Crescent Group of companies. Crescent Petroleum, another Crescent Group affiliate, came under investigation in 1993 by the U.S. Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control and three House of Representatives Committee, Foreign Affairs, Banking, and Ways and Means, to determine if Crescent Petroleum, the privately owned oil and gas company, was a front company acting for Saddam Hussein, according to the independent and congressional records. Now, let me just stop here for a second. Hopefully, you are aware that Saddam Hussein was a CIA asset. If not, then you should look into that, because he was. He most definitely was. So, let me go on. Where did I leave off? Okay, here. Iraqi businessman Hamid Dia Jafar, founder and chairman of the Crescent Group, is a brother and business partner of Iraqi nuclear physicist and spy master Dr. Jafar Dia Jafar. Dr. Jafar is considered to be the father of Saddam Hussein's rogue nuclear weapons program. Dr. Jafar's nephews, Mahid and Badr Jafar, both engineers, operate Crescent alongside their father. And Hamid Jafar and Dr. Jafar, CEO of Crescent Engineering Unit, Treasury Secretary Jack Lew, chairman of the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, refused to order U.S. intelligence officials to conduct a national security threat analysis of Crescent's Port Canaveral transaction. Why on earth? On September 15th, 2013, 6 months before Port Canaveral's June 23rd, 2014 Project Pelican announcement, Gulf Tainer Managing Director Peter Richards told the United Arab Emirates government-owned newspaper The National that a Gulf Tainer deal with a U.S. port was imminent and that we've been given a green light. We've been looking at 2 locations in the U.S., but we'll choose one. Richards declined to name the port on the east coast of America, adding that discussions with American ports operator had been handled very carefully. During the January 2014 World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, attended by Crescent Enterprises CEO Badr Jaffer, Crescent Group Vice Chairman Majid Jaffer, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, and Secretary Lou Badr Jaffer coyly smirked as he bragged to a CNBC reporter that Crescent's Gulf Tainer would soon be owning and operating a port on the east coast of America. Following the Davos conference, it would be another 6 months before the American people and members of Congress learned via media reports about Project Pelican. Secretary Liu traveled to the United Arab Emirates to meet with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Secretary Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Armed Forces, as well as other United Arab Emirates military officials on June 16, 2014, 7 days before the official Project Pelican announcement and signing ceremony, when an Al Arabiya reporter asked Secretary Liu which foreign direct investment in the United States sectors he discussed during his meeting with United Arab Emirate officials. Secretary Liu's immediate reply was infrastructure, real estate, and security. So, under the Foreign Investment and National Security Act of 2007, Director of National Intelligence James R. Clapper is responsible for leading the CFIUS National Security Threat Analysis of the Port Canaveral Gulf Tainer deal and ordering intelligence assessments from all 16 U.S. intelligence agencies under his command. FINSA, enacted under UAE government-owned Dubai Ports World, attempted to take over 5 U.S. ports in 2006, prohibits foreign businesses and businesses controlled by foreign governments from establishing operations close to U.S. critical infrastructure, defense installations, and sensitive national security facilities. Not only was the Crescent Petroleum the subject of multiple U.S. government investigations as a front company acting for Saddam Hussein, a recent World Bank International Finance Corporation document reveals that Gulf Tainer is owned by 2 shareholders. His Highness Sheikh Sultan Al Qasir, I don't know. I really have a hard time with these Arab names. The ruler of and Mr. Hamid Dia Jafar. The Crescent Group's Gulf Tainer, therefore, is partially owned by the United Arab Emirates government. Crescent's Dr. Jafar is reputedly the Middle East's foremost uranium enrichment and nuclear weapons production expert. Dr. Jafar is ostensibly more talented than A.Q. Kwan, the Pakistani nuclear physicist who once offered Dr. Jafar assistance and is on par with Manhattan Project scientist John Robert Oppenheimer. Iraq's bomb was intended to be an Arab bomb to reclaim the lost dignity of the Arab world. Kenneth R. Timmerman. So this is all very interesting, and I really am not going to go through all of this, but it's pretty it's pretty jaw-dropping. This is interesting. Oil for super weapons. A primary objective of Crescent Petroleum was to sell oil and petroleum products to fund Dr. Jafar's top-secret nuclear weapons program, codenamed Petrochemicals Project 3, PC3. The codename was chosen to deceive Western intelligence analysts by characterizing Dr. Jafar's nuclear weapons program as a civilian petroleum project. The scheme was hatched when Saddam's son-in-law, Hussein Kamil al-Majid, approached Crescent Petroleum CEO Hamid Jafar with a business proposition. So we get the idea here, I think. There's a lot of information here, like a lot. This would probably take well, a very long time to get into all this. This is probably something that I should save and get into at another time and break it into 2 or 3 and really investigate this, because it needs it. It's unbelievable. But this, if you want to find it, the website's called The American Report. And if you Google Obama, Clinton, Port Canaveral, you'll get it. Anyway, well, let's go back now. We finished that. So Q is asking here, do you believe in coincidences? Q, well, again, no, we don't, because Q has told us there is no coincidences. I do believe that there is such a thing as coincidence, but I think Q is saying in terms of this stuff, there's no coincidences. Okay, now this is an anonymous poster that posted, holy crap, that's my word, not his, all of the president's past tweets making that reference. Musk, you magnificent bastard. Q, read your book. Now, I'm really not sure what this person's talking about. I really don't, except that he's saying that the president's past tweets have made reference to this, and they probably have. I did not go back and look at all of Trump's tweets. I may do that at some point, but this is like a full-time job just looking into this. It really is. Like, honestly, I could probably spend 8 hours a day just looking into this. 10 hours, 12 hours probably. There's a lot. There is a lot. And if I didn't have anything else to do, like make a living and all that, I would. But as it is, I'm spending as much time as I can, and I will try to increase that time. But yeah, doing the best I can here. November 23. Q says, the world cannot swallow the truth. Q. Well, we know that to be true. We definitely know that to be true. Okay, I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't missing anything here, and we're going to go on. And here, asks, what is Facebook? Well, we all know what Facebook is. It's a social media site, and it's used by billions. There's a lot now about Facebook that's coming out that makes me rethink what I'm putting on Facebook. Q asks, spying tool? Well, of course it's a spying tool. We know that. We absolutely know that. Who created it? Mark Zuckerberg. Who really created it? The CIA. Nothing is what it seems. Q. Now, so users essentially keep their own file updated by not only their uploads, likes, comments, and such, but also via tracking mechanisms that continue offsite as well. And we know that. We know that they track us, whatever you're looking at on the world, say you're on Amazon and you're looking at a specific book, then that stuff comes up on Facebook. It's just, we're tracked. Everything's tracked. They know what we like, what we buy, what we're more likely to buy, everything. It's, sometimes it can be handy, but most times no. I don't like, it's not that, there's anything that I do that I need to hide. It's just that I don't like everything out there. I'm just not an out there person. Like, I don't want all my personal information being gone through by anyone. Anyway, November 23rd, Q says, keyhole, happy hunting, Q. Now, oh, wait, I missed one, I'm sorry. November 23, Q says, focus on his wife, Q. Now, since he just posted about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, we know that that's what he's talking about. Focus on his wife. Don't focus on Mark Zuckerberg, focus on his wife. Well, Priscilla Chan is his wife, and she encouraged Zuckerberg to start an an organ, yeah, an organ donor Facebook site, and she has family in China. So, she's also a pediatrician. I don't know why he's saying to concentrate on her. I'm not really sure. But we can go out and take a boo. A new brand of billionaire bride. Shortly after Mark Zuckerberg tied the knot with longtime girlfriend Priscilla Chan on Saturday, the Twitter jesters came out of the woodwork. Mark Zuckerberg has changed his status to married, read one iteration of a popular joke. Priscilla Chan has changed hers to jackpot. It seems, though, that the wedding timing had little to do with the $16 billion blockbuster Facebook IPO the day before. It wasn't the social network's flotation Zuckerberg was waiting for. It was Chan's medical school graduation, at least according to a guest authorized to speak for the couple, this spokesman told the AP. And I think that's awesome that even after meeting her billionaire and marrying him, that she finished med school. I think that's honorable. Now, the Monday before the public offering, the same day Zuckerberg turned 28, he was in the audience at Chan's UCSF School of Medicine commencement ceremony. He checked in via Facebook, Natch, at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, writing, "I'm so proud of you, Dr. Chan. Dr. Chan was never going to be a stereotypical billionaire's wife of the many spouse. Dr. Chan was never going to be a stereotypical billionaire's wife of the many spouses of Donald Trump variety." Of course, they have to get their little, dig in there to Donald Trump always. The 27-year-old multilingual, English, Spanish, and Cantonese, says her profile page. Massachusetts native, graduated from Harvard in 2007, a year after Zuckerberg would have earned his degree if he hadn't left to focus on Facebook, or the Facebook, as it was then known. The two dated on and off, blah, blah, blah. I don't really think that's important. I can't remember if they say... I'm just trying to see if there's anything about... I don't know. There isn't really anything here about... I don't know why Q is telling us to be cautious of her, or to be, he didn't really say to be cautious of her. He said pay attention to her, focus on her. So there's something there. Then the next one is keyhole. Happy hunting, Q. Now, this is an anonymous poster, and he writes, I'm not going to read that, but one more clue. How the F will we ever connect keyhole to this? One more keyword, please. Please. So he's basically saying, okay, Q's leaving this clue, keyhole, and one of the anonymous posters on 4chan is saying, how are we going to get it with that? We need more than that. And Q says, clowns in America. So it's something to do with the CIA. And we're going to go up here. Now, Google, this is what Q is referring to, okay? Google acquires Keyhole. Digital mapping software used by CNN in Iraq War. Okay, so Stratford email subject adding Keyhole to its subscriber navigation experience. Keyhole is the name of NRO, National Reconnaissance Office, satellite program. It was mostly optical images in near real time. It is also a part of a larger surveillance network these days. infographic on Keyhole, we are Keyhole automated social media analytics for agencies, marketers, journalists, and executives. Our goal is to accurately measure real-time and historical social media data, illustrating metrics and easy-to-read graphs and layouts to simplify reporting and strategizing. Use us to track URLs, hashtags, keywords, and at usernames on Twitter and Instagram. We also do competitive account reporting. So that's who they are. That's what Keyhole is, and that's what they do. So, and we're being told this is CIA, which doesn't surprise us, seeing as Google acquired it. It kind of makes sense that it would be CIA. Okay, now the next post that Q has is on November 23rd. And I have no idea what this means. And I just have no idea. I can't even begin to imagine what this is talking about. So if anyone knows, please fill me in. But it's just some codes as far as I can see. 27-1, yes. USA 94-2, 27-1, yes. USA 58-A. And this may not even be meant for us, because there are other people that watch these and are given, go signals or whatever. So I don't know that it's even meant for us. Could be, might not be. So let's go to the next one. November 23rd. Q says, reminder, and which basically saying pay attention, please keep in mind. Unclassified setting. Information that is vital is being conveyed, but to people with no vetting, no security clearance. Monitored and analyzed in real time. Now he's talking about this. He's talking about this digital mapping software. And basically it can take social media data and monitor it in real time, close to real time, near real time. So that's what he's talking about. Unclassified setting, information that's vital is being conveyed, but to people with no vetting, no security clearance, monitored and analyzed in real time. Intelligence agencies, friends, and foes are monitoring the threads in real time. Future. Now, he could also be talking about these threads as well, that, I don't know, but anyway. Because this Keyhole software mapping can analyze in real time, but so, Q has told us time and again that what people are posting in there and what he is posting is being monitored and analyzed in real time as well. So he could be speaking about that. Anyway, he says future answers past, and of course we know that. We know that Q's posts tend to inform on the posts that went before it. So, we'll read something now that 2 weeks ago, didn't make sense. But Q gives us enough information or throws us enough bones that, we get it. So, future answers past. Things will happen and they will explain the things that have already happened or that have been posted previously. We know that. So let's go up to the next one. November 23, what news broke? And then he says, American contractors where? Hanging from feet, which is an insult in Saudi Arabia. Reread dumps. And when he's talking about dumps, he's talking about what he's doing, his posts. He calls those dumps, or he dumps crumbs. Why is this relevant? News unlocks map. And of course, the map are his postings, all his postings. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the Q map, or the map of his postings. So his postings make sense once the news unlocks them, because when it happens, we look back and we go, oh, okay, that's what he meant. Expand your thinking, Q. So, okay. Now, he asked, why is this relevant? Now, the news that broke, of course, on November 23rd was the news that they had Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Since no one in the cabal of bad actors knows what Al-Walid said or didn't say, the effect will be distrust and even panic. Many will make significant mistakes due to panic. Many will plot revenge. Never interrupt your enemy when he is killing his own. Hanging upside down takes the form of the inverted cross, a symbol of satanic worship since the death of St. Peter at Circus Maximus prior to the building of the Vatican at the same location. Blackwater's successor company denies being in Saudi Arabia. Source claims mercenaries are from Blackwater, a claim also made by Lebanese president. But its successor firm denies it had any operations in Saudi Arabia whatsoever and says its staff abide by U.S. law. No, they don't. Americans who commit torture abroad can be jailed for up to 20 years. Does this news refer to previous confirmation codes? If not, if so, which ones? Check dates and times. Now, Blackwater, oh gosh, I won't get into that. I've got some Blackwater stories. Anyway, I won't get into that because it'll get me way off on a tangent and probably in trouble. Okay. Exclusive. American mercenaries are torturing. Sorry. Wait for all this. Oh, man. I hate this. All this advertising everywhere. Okay. Sorry. American mercenaries are torturing Saudi elite. Saudi elite rounded up by new crown prince and billionaire Prince Al-Walid was hung upside down just to send a message. How do I get out of this? Come on. Okay. So, source in Saudi Arabia says American private security contractors are carrying out interrogations on princes and billionaires arrested in crackdown. Detained members of Saudi elite have been hung by their feet and beaten by interrogates. Sources say. Among those hung upside down are Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, an investor worth at least $7 billion, who is being held at Riyadh's, I can never pronounce that. I know how it's pronounced, but I can't remember. Ritz-Carlton. Arrests were ordered 3 weeks ago by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Source claims mercenaries are from Blackwater, a claim also made by Lebanese president, but its successor firm denies it has any operations in Saudi Arabia whatsoever and says its staff abide by U.S. law. Americans who commit torture abroad can be jailed for up to 20 years. Well, Blackwater's always said that. They always deny everything. I mean, they were in New Orleans. They were in New Orleans during the right after Katrina, and they weren't handing out food and water. What were they doing? Well, we know what they were doing. I could say a lot about that, but I won't. So, I won't because you never know who's listening, and second of all, it just makes me sound crazy. Saudi princes and billionaire businessmen arrested in a power grab earlier this month are being strung up by their feet and beaten by American private security contractors, a source in the country tells dailymail.com. The group of the country's most powerful figures were arrested in a crackdown ordered by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And see, we know all this. This is old news for us, but the part about him being tortured, I'm not for torture, but I understand that these people, they have to get information from them. I do understand that. I don't know. I could never personally torture anybody. So let's go back to where we were. And I think that's about it for that one. It was pretty straightforward. Now, here is another anonymous user, and he or she is directing this to Q, and he says, Q, is this relevant? At In-Q-Tel, Painter's work focused on identifying, researching, and evaluating new startup technology firms that were believed to offer tremendous value to the CIA, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and the Defense Intelligence Agency. Indeed, the NGA had confirmed that its intelligence obtained via Keyhole was used by the NSA to support U.S. operations in Iraq from 2003 onward. A former U.S. Army Special Operations Intelligence officer, Painter's new job at Google as of July 2005 was federal management of what Keyhole was to become, Google Earth Enterprise. By 2007, Painter had become Google's federal chief technologist. TK refers to Talent Keyhole, code name for imagery from reconnaissance aircraft and spy satellites. Now, Q responds and acknowledges that he's seen this. He doesn't counter it. So we can pretty much count on that being correct. Now, going back to the private mercenary contractors, I had put this and then not read it. So private mercenary contractors present in a foreign country, assuming the duty of interrogation of high-level individuals in a country that has no laws against torture, signal that the operation is not only active and underway, but extremely serious and operating on multiple levels. I would assume that that's so. Blackwater, they don't operate by, the rules of the game. They're private mercenaries. They kill people. They torture them. They're very effective at what they do. And interestingly enough, and I know this to be a fact because I know it to be a fact, Blackwater, during Katrina, stayed at Jimmy Swaggart Ministries compound. And they would sleep in the executive building, and you'd have to walk over them to get to your office. And anyway, they were there, and they were going down into New Orleans and doing whatever they were doing, which, well, I think that you can probably guess. So, yeah. Interesting that they were stationed at Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, who is also CIA. Yes, he is. He was an asset. I don't think he is a CIA officer, but he definitely was an asset, especially during the Reagan years. No question about it. So, anyway, let me, okay, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal was tortured for information in Saudi Arabia. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal was reportedly hung upside down by his feet, which is an insult in the Middle East, degraded and tortured for information. Even if that is untrue, the damage to his dignity and reputation was made. Others in the cabal and network do not and cannot know whether the divulged information, whether he divulged information or not. If he did, what he told and who he implicated, they don't know. I mean, if you're Hillary Clinton, wouldn't you be like really I'd be scared. I really would, because all the dealings that she's had with him, and what's he going to say? Is he going to rat her out? Probably. I would think so. Okay, well, I think that's going to take us up to this next one, which I'm going to hit on my next video. And yeah, so I'm going to try tonight to get another one up, but I don't know. I can't guarantee, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to cut it off there for now. And I thank you guys for listening. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks.